All right, everyone, welcome back to another edition of Metabolic Flexibility. My name is Dr. Joel Rosen. I am the Adrenal Fatigue Recovery Ninja, and I'm talking to you today about metabolic flexibility. So what I want you to know is glucose uptake into the cell is usually normal and often high in untreated diabetes. What does that mean? Glucose going into the cell it can be high in untreated diabetes. So what does that mean? So when we have hyperglycemia, so there's too much glucose in the cell, glucose clearance and glucose tissue utilization goes up. And what's really cool is you can measure that. So you can measure high glucose, which is on this side, equals glucose utilization and glucose clearance. So how much is utilized by the cells, the brain, the muscles, the fat, the red blood cells, and how much is peed out. If you measure how much is peed out, and then you see how much what the glucose level was, the fasting glucose level, then you can infer how much was taken out of the cell and utilized. And in studies, they show that that is increased even in the face of low insulin. So why is that important? That means that insulin is not required for glucose to get out of the cells. And we talked about that way back when. Insulin is not required to get out of the cells. We have these things called GLUT receptors. And GLUT receptors are in the cytoplasm and the cell membranes. And what they do is they will listen to glucose and they'll transfer glucose into the cell. But when we have insulin levels that are skyrocketing, what happens is because of way too much food, because of injections from treatments, then those GLUT receptors become damaged. And it's sort of forced fed in. But what also happens on the other side, we're inhibiting protein breakdown. We're inhibiting fat breakdown. We're inhibiting glycogen storage. We're basically doing fat storage. And that's where we get exhausted and tired and insulin resistant. And that's where we see not only your fasting glucose levels go higher, you see your triglycerides go higher, you see your LDLs go higher, you see your HDLs go lower, you see your uric acid levels go higher. You got metabolic mayhem going on. But the thing you didn't realize was glucose would have done a fine job on its own. Control your insulin and fix your metabolic flexibility. On to the next video. We'll see.